Well, in honor of the Joker, today I am wearing my father's suit and also in honor of my father because I'm in his house.
Wow, that took a turn for the best, huh?
But yeah, since I'm here in Maryland, I'm here at my parents' house. They went to a gala last night. They were looking real fresh, real nice, real coupled up for cuffing season. And my sister also was on a date with her boo thing. And so I went on a date with myself and we took ourselves to the movies because you was going to the movies with your date. Oh my God. And then my friend Aaron was going to the movies with his husband. And I was like, let me take myself to the movies as well.
Where'd you see it at, first of all? Which theater?
Oh my God. I saw it at a Regal up the street.
Yeah.
This neighborhood is like 6 miles outside of DC, very close to the University of Maryland. And it's this area that they're really building up now. They're building all these condos and mid-level like apartment buildings or whatever in that just around this complex where they have this movie theater, so Regal. And I go online to buy my ticket, honey. It was me and about 6 other people in that whole theater. I'm like, I
People
mean,
don't
it's
go to
really,
people don't go to the theater like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing that people do. Honestly, because now like movies turn around within a month or 45 days. I think you can see things that were in theater on Hulu or
on
buy it from.
streaming, yeah.
But it is still a novelty to go to the theater, to go and see it. I mean, did you like the Regal? You said Regal, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll put it in here, but they had a sign posted outside of the theater. I don't know if yours had this as well, but it said please note that the image for this presentation may not fill the entire screen. This is intentional and reflects the director and studio's creative vision. It also felt like the theater was a little bootleg because with certain pictures, you could see these like little blue dots on the screen. I felt like getting in my white woman bag a little bit and being like, something's wrong with the screen, but it wasn't so distracting.
I went to see it. It's called Look Dine In. It's down the street. It's on West 57th here in Hell's Kitchen. And it was cute. I thought it was cutesy. It was like, one of those places where you order through the you order through the QR code like any other AI robot ass fucking place. And they bring you the foods. They had like loaded fries. They had
I hate that.
hot wings, had alcohol. I never realized how many things I don't need from a theater. Like it was
Yeah,
cute.
well,
It was cute to eat while we were like watching the movie, and the person I'm dating was like, yeah, I like that. Like I have to eat to watch a movie. I'm like, but we both were like, oh, the food wasn't good though. I liked it, but loaded fries, girl, it's never loaded. It's never loaded up like I like.
uh, oh, how do you like it loaded up?
You know, hot, poised, dignant, sour cream, fresh, cold.
Okay, so just like basically poison.
I
You
want
want it
I want the
loaded?
bacon I want the bacon strips to be crispy. I want chives on my shit.
I feel you. My
I,
issue with it is that if we're supposed to be there watching a movie and you got somebody every so often just come in, oh, excuse me, did you have the nachos with the queso? Here you
but
go.
that's the thing. Normally everyone puts their order in before the movie starts.
I would say that's not normally how it goes, but if that was the case, then I would probably be fine with it.
I mean, but would you want to order food and like be interrupted with your food order during the movie? We were, by the way, because I was trying to make
Yeah.
sure. What did you get? Because you can't see what you're getting on purpose. Because if I feel like the lights were up, I'd be like, the fries are not loaded the way you said they were loaded, honey. I couldn't see what I was eating.
Right? Can you imagine they're like someone gets stabbed and you go, you know what I could go for right now is a big old bucket of popcorn.
Also, popcorn novelty. Popcorn comes to you lukewarm. Popcorn cold is carpet and butter.
All right, well, what did you think of the movie?
You know what? Let's get right to it because we didn't have previews in my movie theater. They literally they put the shit on. It's a different. It's a. I think it's a. I can't. I don't know the term, but it's like a theater. They only show certain movies. I guess
Okay, wow, the industry really is in decline. All right,
it
so
is.
they put that shit
All
on.
right. So, I thought the movie. My expectations were that the movie was going to be kind of a continuant. Continuance is the continuance.
Yeah, continuation.
Continuation of the last Joker, which really just, in my opinion, how I would say it, like humanize the Joker's misfortunes, downfalls, barriers to care, just like a human being that slipped through the cracks of society and was really treated bad. That, further increased like a mental illness. He was mentally ill, which is fine, but like medication and it just was bad, right? I don't advocate for him as a Joker, but it was you could see like okay, they humanized this person, but he's still terrible, right? He's terrible. The fact that he's got this following is terrible, all these things, but you see how this happened. I thought it was nice. I never knew the Joker story. I never knew about his mom and all that shit. This movie, I thought it was going to be, kind of a like continuation of the gory actions and the killing. I thought I was going to see Gaga be like, really, I don't know, Harley Quinn. And I didn't get any of it. What I will say is, I won't say it was a bad movie. And I won't say it was a good movie. I will say this: I did not go to see the Joker to see so much music. I also,
Yeah,
yeah, I also will say, and then I'll pass it to you. I watched an interview with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, Stephanie. What's her last name?
you're asking the wrong one.
Lady Gaga. Um, it was the interview. It was like set in a sense of they were talking about her voice, acting and changing how she would sound different from her artistry.
As a different character, it's just completely different. It's Lee's reality. It's their shared reality. It's coming from that character, not from me as a performer.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, because I know Harley Quinn to be this like kind of like I can't do an accent, but kind of like this Bostonian like Fran Drescher, Mr. Sheffield type of voice.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, hi, Mr. Sheffield.
Tone pitch. It's always that. Like everything seems to be like you're like a little bit tone deaf. I just felt like it was Lady Gaga the entire time. And I consider about a lot of like artists or a lot of other people or that I watch. It's like you're the same person all the single time. Like not only that, but like they're introducing this love story between Harley Quinn and the Joker, and it doesn't seem love filled. It seemed very rushed, and the writing was kind of crunchy. There wasn't a moment, there wasn't a
I
moment in which I feel like they fell in love when they were like doing what they were doing in the cell. Because we're not trying to do any like spoilers. I was like, this is even a little bit cold and rough. I don't know.
well, I also read or noticed first. I noticed before I read it later online that there was a lot of scenes in the previews that did not make it into the movie, particularly like moments where they're dancing together on the stairs of the courthouse that were in the previews that were not in the movie. And so I'm wondering how much of it just was left on the chopping block when they were making this final cut. And there's also a clip of Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga being asked in an interview, how did the final cut turn out? Was it everything you expected? And they both kind of look at each other, and Lady Gaga just giggles.
Well, you've seen it. Is it everything you expected?
Tell them how you feel, Joaquin.
Well, I was there.
Yeah.
I made the movie.
You made the movie.
So I did know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
As if to say, we know, girl, it wasn't everything that we had hoped and dreamed that it would be.
So we were watching. So Lady Gaga was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think Thursday night.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Please welcome Lady Gaga.
She was in character. Well, that's what like the person I was watching it was like, oh, she's in character, or something's going on because she seems very nervous. She seems unsettled because normally Gaga's just either like poised woman, Frank Sinatra type, Tony Bennett ass fucking do-up, but then or she's Lady Gaga who's like kind of like, you know, Lady fucking Gaga, but she was like
weird,
fidgety and like to think, oh, maybe this is part of her like character acting and method acting. But then to watch the movie, for me, there was no climax to any of it. I think the ending scene was the most. I was like, oh, that's what I came here for. Better, bitch.
Not
the joke,
that.
I love that. Fuck it up. But that's kind of
No.
sad because the rest of the movie, literally, and if you love musicals, go see it or see it at home whenever you see this interview. I definitely encourage you to see it. But what I would say is I never seen A Star is Born, right? I never seen that movie, but I've seen a lot of the clips. I'm going to watch it. Promise.
That's
But Lady
good.
Gaga's facial expressions between the two characters and like, I didn't hear a difference in voice. I didn't hear a difference in singing. She's a trained singer. In fact, over time, Lady Gaga has become a better singer, a really beautiful singer without all the backgrounds. It's kind of great, but I don't know. For a
Yeah. I don't necessarily mind that. I think some people get to a certain level of star power and recognition to where that's obviously, in her case too, part of why they're being hired to be in the film is that their name alone is going to bring people. So, and we know that Lady Gaga is Lady Gaga. She's not the type of actor who's going to be more like a Joaquin Phoenix where he's really transforming into the role of the Joker. But can we talk about all the singing, girl? Because it was, first of all, just a little bit too much singing for me. And it almost felt like the musical numbers were put in at moments where they just ran out of dialogue. Something important would be said, and then next thing you know, we're bursting out into song. And mind you, I think there were at least two critical elements missing from the musical numbers. Is that, first of all, it seemed like they didn't really have a ton to do with the actual plot, which probably struggled to be connected to the plot because, baby, where was it? Like, where was the actual plot? Like you were saying, you know, the ending, they hardly even established a villain.
what that was.
In this movie. I mean,
And that
because by the
character-
time the villain comes in at the end, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that one random scene where they showed
Well, he
you.
was in a few. Well, that person was in like a few. Oh, me get emotional.
Barely. They showed him one time sitting there in the back, like, I was like, what was that? What was that?
He was
And-
kind of there. He was there. But it was just like, I don't know.
It was completely out of left field.
There was no excitement to any of this. There was no. I'm sorry. I don't know. I felt like it was
The
very
pacing,
slow.
it was all off. I was like, okay, girl, but what? is this
How you
story
gonna go from
real?
a sad? How you can go from like a barely put together like scene into another sad song that sounded like the other sad song?
And that's the other thing, girl, I was gonna say about the music is that not only were they not totally relevant to the almost non-existent plot, but they also were not really performed well. They were all performed in that weird, raspy, half-voiced, melancholic, sad girl song. It was just,
No, yeah.
it wasn't doing it for me. Now, I also don't want to do too much on the movie because I have to, if we were talking about expectations, my only expectation was to go in and see a story that really moved me because that's what the first one did in a way that was kind of unexpected. And there were moments where I was really moved by this movie. If the first one was an investigation of mental illness, this one felt like more about an investigation of trauma and having to revisit that trauma. Not to get into too much specifics, but I thought that they did like a decent job, touching on
Here's my
that.
question.
And then part of the other, whole premise of it was all the while that they were trying to establish that this character was separate from the Joker, then every once in a while we would literally see him go into a different world as the Joker with Lady Gaga, where some of these musical numbers existed, where it was beautifully shot, where it was sometimes entertaining, and there were songs that I like enjoyed. So I don't think it was all bad. I just don't think that it all came together.
No, it's not all bad. It's just like the love story of them could have used more. Oh my God. Give me a second.
When I See You,
Let me see. Let me see. $3.
it's on site. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
a
a
love
love
story
story.
that I felt like needed a little bit more. But you know what? It was cinematic. There was. It wasn't my favorite movie.
Me either. I especially,
Like
it's hard
was
not to. What?
there was people that were in the theater with us that left like after like the third song.
I still enjoyed it though. That's what I have to say, is that it wasn't amazing, but I still liked it. It was at least very unique and beautifully shot. And I think Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga gave great performances still, even if the plot was thin and there was too much musical.
Yeah. No, they're great actresses or actors. The writing, maybe it was the writing, right? But that's what someone said about the other movie that she was in.
Oh,
Stars, not the Stars, but the Gucci movie. Was it Gucci?
yes.
They said that it wasn't good, and then like, oh, it was the writing. It's like it took too long. It was, drawn out. I thought I was
Yeah.
going to see more action. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wanted to see more Harley Quinn. Who did Harley Quinn in the movie recently? It was the person that did Barbie, right?
Oh yeah. God, this is embarrassing because I know her name. God, I don't want to have to look it up because I know her name. You know her name too.
What do you think it is? Oh wait, I know.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she was good. All right, let's give it ratings. Are you ready? I'm gonna go at 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, out of
Okay.
5. That's pretty high.
That's like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
generous, I think.
What did you say? 7?
No, I said 6.5. It's like the same.
Okay, those are equally. Like,
Yeah, it's like the same. It's like the same.
would you see it again?
I would. at my house once it comes out there. Would not pay to see that again. But I'm also not a big fan of watching movies again, unless they're classics. Yeah, I think that's it. Let us know what you guys think about the movie. If you're gonna go see it, if you haven't seen it, why not? I will say my final thought is that I'm glad that I did not let the reviews of the movie discourage me from going to see it because, like I said, despite everything, I still did enjoy the ride. It's somebody's art, you know? And it may not, I think it's really hard to create a masterpiece twice, which
Yeah.
I consider the first movie to be a masterpiece. This,
The original
without the context of the first movie, I think standing alone was an interesting movie, even if it was slow and a little lacking in plot and clarity and action. And somehow I still enjoyed it. That's all I got to say.
Fuck. How you do that to bitches, bitch? What is this, Six Flags? You take us to the very top, right? You're like, get up here. I was really like, wow, maybe I just miss a lot of the like material. And then you're like, maybe it was like lacking in like quality and the girls. Go check out The Joker.
Bitch.
Starring Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix.
Or don't. We don't do free promo out here.
Oh wow, I thought that was the end of the episode. Is this it? This is it, right? Are you done?
We're
Damn.
done.
Okay.